I am noticing that not enough people are getting angry, and it is so okay to be that joyous, happy, loving person, right? The spiritual person that gets angry. It's absolutely fine. The key is how you do it, right? How you use that emotion, how you use it to kind of catapult you forward, and how you don't use it. So the way we want to use anger is we want to use it in a way that benefits us, right? So when you're angry, there's a multitude of reasons you could be angry, right? And a lot of the times it's because you aren't like getting what you want, right, in the moment. And when you get angry, then you can just get angry and be like, I want this. Like I was like getting angry earlier when I was organizing some stuff, and it just wasn't like going the way I wanted. So I was like starting to get angry and frustrated, and I was breathing through it, and I was still feeling all right. And then it feels like I was kind of like maybe denying a little bit, like, oh, I'll be okay if I just breathe and have compassion for myself. But like, it was like, nope, like you gotta let this go. You gotta like just like really say what you want and clarify what you want in a situation here. So I was able to be like, no, I'm done with this. I want this to be organized, this, and this. And then I took it outside and just was like throwing the dog's ball at the wall so that I could like get the anger out. So it's perfectly fine to be angry, and not enough people are getting angry and using it. Like I was talking to somebody and they told me like, I just don't get angry. And the truth is that unless you've like transcended and embodied and gotten to the point where like nothing bothers you, that's not true. It's just not true. You get angry, but you hold it in. And I was such a victim to this before, where I would just be like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. And in fact, I couldn't even recognize anger anymore. Yeah, I would still get irritable and frustrated and sometimes like kind of fly off the handle here and there, right? But it was to the point where I didn't even recognize anger in my body. And what was happening was that it was so easy for me to like just be like, nope, I'm good, and not feel it, that like it was showing up in body aches and pains. So use it, because like when you're on, there's a multitude of things that happen, but like for me, like when I'm breaking through new loops, sometimes I find certain things that were lower on the scale causing like guilt and shame. Like down here, we're on like the Hawkins scale, where like guilt, shame, blame, all that is down at the bottom. And then at the way top, you have like love, peace, bliss, harmony. But anger is kind of like just under neutrality, just under like kind of that boredom. It depends which scale you look at. So it's actually better than like sitting in those like shameful and blameful types of emotions. But the key is you don't want to do it in a way that harms somebody else. You don't want to take that blame, that shame, that is actually just a projection of yourself reflecting back to you if you're blaming somebody else, right? You're really blaming yourself. So like you don't want to take that anger and push it out onto somebody else. You want to take it and just get it out, right? And yes, there's times where you can just have compassion. Sometimes it's a boundary that needs to be put in play. Sometimes you're past boundaries and you actually don't have the anger, you just have to stay in alignment. But it depends where you are. So like as I'm kind of arcing right now in certain like loops and patterns that I'm like breaking out of, I'm watching myself go up the scale. So anytime there's a major pattern that I'm breaking through, right? But some of the stuff that's just like, yeah, this is residual, like it's okay, I can stay in joy and just be here and like feel it and like redirect and come back to alignment, that's different. But when it's a major new, like not new, but when I'm really breaking through it or really seeing it, I've been noticing myself how I rise up that scale, right? And like, so like I noticed where like maybe there was some blame that I had been projecting out, right? Subconsciously, and like now I can really be, now I'm really aware of it and then see it, and I get to the pattern and I do all the whatever, and that's not for now, but all of a sudden I notice there's anger. And I let that go, and then I notice like I'm reasoning and logic, and then the joy and the peace and the bliss. So like it just goes up the scale every single time. And the cool thing is that it's okay to be like nature, right? Our bodies are like nature, like Mother Nature. We are allowed to be angry. We are allowed to be sad, and it's okay to be the person that shares joy, who knows that like one of the things that they really can give other people is like sharing joy and love. It's okay to be that person and still have emotions, to still get sad, to have grief, to have anger, to notice patterns that are coming in that maybe you just judged something, or whatever it is. So it is absolutely okay to be angry. In fact, I encourage it, not in regard to like go out and like piss everybody off, but get that out of your system and do it in a way that's beneficial. And yes, of course I can use like acupuncture and put needles in myself, and of course I can do all like certain things. But when it comes to a head, when you're really seeing that it's coming from like a desire, whether it's a heart's desire or it's something that is like just not lining up, that it's really okay to just vent it out, and in a way that's safe and showing you like, you know what, this is what I want. So try that out and see what happens so that it clarifies your actual true desires and what you want in the situation and what's not happening. And that can help you to move from that and return to like that joy and the peace. And you know what, it's okay that my neighbors probably saw me having like a mini tantrum of like and I wasn't screaming it, but I was like throwing stuff and throwing the ball at the wall and like allowing myself to just get the anger out. So it is so okay to be that loving person and still have anger and let people see you in anger, as long as you're not doing it in a way that's harming anybody, right? And if you judge yourself for it, don't worry about it, because it's just yourself judging you, because nobody can judge you unless you are judging you. So let people witness it. Let people see that it's okay, that they can be angry too sometimes, right? As long as you're using it in a way that is beneficial to move you up, right? Because that was the thing that was holding me back before. And this was like years ago, that how could I let the anger out, right? And for how long I didn't even realize that I was angry, because it was so easy. I got so good at not even knowing it was anger that I was feeling, because I was letting it seep all the way into my pores and like start to cause pain in like my shoulders and my back and my head and my face, and like it caused so much damage to it causes so much damage to our bodies. Like, just let it go. Like, find a way to do it that clarifies what you want. And if you want more information, like if this is something that like you want more help with, like just shoot me a DM and I can share with you like how I've come across doing this. And I love it. I love letting my emotions like have a secure place for me, right? That I get to be that beacon of light that is okay with how I'm feeling in the moment. And that extends to crying in public. You know, like we had a friend pass, and we just happened to run into another friend at somebody's like grand opening event, and they started talking about it. And you know what? I just cried in public. And so what I'm watching is I'm watching other people, which is a reflection of like what I've held in, say to me like, I feel like I could cry right now too, but I'm not gonna, right? Or hearing, I don't get angry, right? That's not true. We all have an array of emotions, and we all are able to use them to our advantage, right? To use them in a way that just is safe expression. right? So again, not in an anger way that's pushing out on other people and projecting on other people, right? Not in a victim crying way, like, oh my gosh, I'm like you're the victim of whatever happened, but like letting it safely out and knowing that you're still safe. Like, I had to relearn and teach myself that it's okay to be angry and no one's going to get hurt if I get angry. Nobody's going to get hurt. I mean, as long as I do it safely, right? And I'm conscious of it. So I'm really happy that I could come on here and share this with you today. And I see Rebecca's here. Hi, Rebecca. So it's nice to be able to connect with you. And yeah, I feel so much better and I have so much more clarity because I allowed myself to have some anger and I allowed people to witness it and not even care. Just to be like, this is what I want. It's okay. And now I move on. And that's it. So I love you all. Thanks for listening and we'll all chat soon. Bye-bye.